Fokker DR-1. 40,000 feet in a triplane, imagine that. Flying a Fokker DR-1 must have been the greatest experience of your life. If you went high enough, you could see the curvature of the Earth before you ran out of oxygen. Surely, unless the engine is supercharged, then it would choke and die about the same time you would. Doubt you could hit 15,000 in that thing. Also, the DR-1 being good had nothing to do with being a triplane, and most triplanes were dog shit. The efficient wing shape is what made it so effective. Aerodynamics was very much an experimental art and not the well-known equations and rapid computer simulation of today. A lot of wind tunnel work and trying new things back then. The D7 and D8 were better planes, with the 8 extremely underrated. Rotary engines were a weird time. I don't understand the point of rotating an entire engine block, which was mainstream at the time. Rotary engines are lightweight and high horsepower. Mixed air and fuel comes in through the static hub behind the pilot and gets flung out to the cylinders, who also intake a little additional air from their cylinder head after the exhaust stroke. Funny enough, some rotary engines literally only had full throttle or off. If you haven't checked out the workings, they are really interesting. Also, inline engines were built off a beefy crankcase and separate cylinders compared to the modern engine blocks. If you could travel in 1914, the most significant thing you could bring back would be a drawing of a Clark Y airfoil. If you remember 50-50 ethylene glycol / water coolant, tetrathol lead, and other small details, you would advance aerospace technology by almost a decade. Never got the Fokker worship. It's also funny how making thicker wings means you invented airfoils and aerodynamics when the British already did that a decade prior to World War I. Lancaster. A plane called the Fokker. World War II had the Focke-Wulf. Germans are a bunch of perverts. And do you expect me to believe in 47 years the SR-71 Blackbird flew? Yeah, okay, sure thing, buddy. Brass balls on them. I got that fear of heights where I was in a Cessna that felt flimsier than my car door, with that and a seatbelt separating me from the call of the void, and I was pick related. These guys get in lawnmower, paper, and wood and fly and shoot at each other. Or get on the wings and fucking dance around. Gods among men. F-35 cruising. Could bank ahead. 3 dozen tiny contacts show up on radar out of nowhere. F-35 pilot has 5 seconds to register them before the sounds of rain hits his plane. The sound is dozens of 7.92mm bullets. Thump. The F-35 just hit something. F-35 pilot tries to eject. Dead when he hits the ground. His ejection seat and parachute is fouled by canvas and pieces of laminated wood. Interesting question. How many modernized Fokker DR-1s would it take to equal an F-35 or F-22? The cost isn't an issue. The Fokker wins every time, but how many? Once the supersonic fighter realizes the situation, it can do things like blast through a formation of them and kill them with sonic booms, but that involves getting inside the triplane swarm and possibly getting shot. How many Fokker triplanes to kill an F-35 / F-22? The F-35 / F-22 running out of fuel, their base being attacked, or the pilots just giving our options? How many modernized Fokker DR-1s would it take to equal an F-35 or F-22? There's a science fiction short story about exactly such a scenario. Hawk Among the Sparrows. Reading now. Behold, ChatGPT and WSR has shown us the future of air combat. The props would be bigger, but the size for 2 MD-550s is about right. It would be more maneuverable than the original. It could do flat spins better, assuming that was actually possible. The guns would go underneath. I'm picturing a modular mount with 2 7.62 for anti-drone work, and 12.7mm for general duty, or 30mm AGL for ground attack. In theory, it could mount to KPV. However, I have several recoil-related questions.
My heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together.